this video, we take a look at the staggering amount of history-defining disasters that have occurred in the month of April. As the list of harrowing incidents gets longer, it starts to feel like April may be the Bermuda Triangle of the calendar year, drawing all things negative and destructive towards it. Maybe there's some unseen meteorological or lunar phenomenon that happens in April that wreaks havoc with our planet and our people. Or perhaps it's an ancient numerological puzzle that we haven't decoded yet. Either way, join me as we embark on a horrendous journey of terror and tragedy, starting with possibly the most notorious disaster of them all. Please be aware that the following footage is not easy viewing. If you're of a sensitive disposition, please click away now.
Many claimed the Titanic was unsinkable because its hull was divided into 16 watertight compartments. It was said that if up to 4 of these flooded, the ship would still stay buoyant.
От Совета министров СССР. На Чернобыльской атомной электростанции произошла авария. Поврежден один из атомных реакторов.
The danger may be escalating. It's an atomic fire and the Soviets can't contain it. Thousands may already have died or been seriously contaminated.
There has been a nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened. The Soviet version is this. One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant near the city of Kiev was damaged, and there is speculation in Moscow that people were injured and may have died. The Soviets may have been fairly quick to acknowledge the accident because evidence in the form of mild nuclear radiation had already reached beyond the Soviet borders to Scandinavia.
Радиация. У нее нет ни запаха, ни цвета. У нее есть только голос. Вот он. На экране один из кадров, который студийный АТК сначала задержал как брак. Но это не брак. Это зримый лик радиации. Вглядитесь.
April 13th, 1970. The mood could only be described as relaxed.
This is the crew of Apollo 13, wishing everybody there a nice evening, and we're just about ready to close out our inspection of Aquarius and get back for a pleasant evening at Odyssey. Good night.
Stir up your cryo tanks. In addition, have Shaft and Trunnion for a look at the Comet Bennett if you need it.
Okay. Stand by. Okay,
Houston,
we've had a problem here.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Yes, Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main B bus undervolt.
Roger, main B undervolt. Okay, stand by, 13. We're looking at it. Yes, sir.
My concern was increasing all the time. It went from, I wonder what this is going to do to the landing, to I wonder if we can get back home again. So you see that survival now became one of initiative and ingenuity, and it was one which the ground continually helped us for. And we had all kinds of people on the ground trying to think of ways of extending our lifetime. In a situation like that, there's only one thing you can do. You just keep going.
On April 17th, they prepared for re-entry.
Odyssey Houston standing by, over.
we show you on the mains. It really looks great.
I was sleeping with my mother, and we thought it was the end of the world. We grabbed each other and pulled the covers over our heads and said, "This is the end of the world."
The quake hit San Francisco on Wednesday, April 18th, at precisely 12 minutes past 5 o'clock in the morning. The quake had the impact of 6 million tons of TNT. Roughly 12,000 times the power of the atomic bomb exploded over Hiroshima. It remains the greatest natural disaster suffered by a North American city. For more than 200 miles along the San Andreas Fault, the crust of the Earth slipped as much as 21 feet. In San Jose, 8,000 people were homeless. Santa Rosa, a town of 7,000, was leveled. Trees were uprooted, fences curved, and in some places the earth flowed like water.
On April 20th, 2010, a powerful explosion rocks the Deepwater Horizon drilling platform in the Gulf of Mexico. It leads to what will become America's largest oil spill. 130 liters per second gush from a leak 1,500 meters below the surface, 400,000 liters per hour. 11 workers lose their lives. 115 are rescued, all suffering from shock, many with severe injuries. All efforts to save the crippled platform fail. 2 days later, it sinks to the ocean floor.
It was, said the President, a part of France that burned today, a part that stood here for 800 years through war, revolution and religious unrest, engulfed within an hour by flames. Its ancient towers, beacons for both residents and tourists, crumbling into the blaze. As its current guardian watched through tears.
This is a national disaster. I'm very upset. This cathedral is 850 years old.
Many things are said to be irreplaceable. Great art, cultural heritage, symbols of protection and hope. What word should we use when it's all of these?
Good evening. 93 soccer fans died in today's FA Cup disaster, Europe's worst ever sporting tragedy. Most of them were teenagers and children.
Yeah, I've got an explanation for what's happened here, VT. I'm going to give you a line. And the story emerges that one of the outside gates leading into that terrace was broken. People without tickets got in, were therefore overcrowding the people with tickets, and that's why the crush occurred. That should be passed on to grandstand as well, please.
Desperate people are lifted over the top of the fences, and fans in the upper stand pull others to safety. Police try to free those at the front through the narrow gates near the pitch. There are not enough stretchers, and supporters use advertising hoardings to carry the injured. The first ambulance arrives on the pitch at 14 minutes past 3, but many fans are already fatally injured.
April 3rd, 1974, dawned like any ordinary day. Americans across the Midwest bought their morning paper to catch up on the Patty Hearst kidnapping and President Nixon's tax troubles. While forecasters were predicting scattered thunderstorms, the unseen atmospheric forces above the heart of America were inching perilously towards volatility.
It was a most unusual day. From the west, a cold front, riding in high on the jet stream. From the Gulf of Mexico, a low mass of moist, warm, unstable air heading northward. And when they collided, it became the day of the killer tornadoes.
148 tornadoes in 24 hours across 13 states and Canada. They ravaged neighborhoods.
It looked like a bomb had gone off.
Taking hundreds of lives.
It was the scariest moment of my life.
And injuring thousands more. It is a super outbreak that is unlike anything ever recorded. One that triggered a weather forecasting revolution.
The super outbreak is the #1 event that would have an impact on the way we operate today.
Hello, I'm Emily Morgan. This is your coronavirus update for Wednesday, the 22nd of April. Around the world, the number of confirmed coronavirus cases stands at 2,592,845, and there have been 179,694 deaths. 696,921 people have recovered from the virus. Health Secretary Matt Hancock has said the UK has reached its coronavirus peak, but lockdown restrictions will not be relaxed.
And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.
I'm speaking to you at what I know is an increasingly challenging time. We should take comfort that while we may have more still to endure, better days will return. We will be with our friends again. We will be with our families again. We will meet again.